We are in Matthew chapter 8, and the story that I want us to spend a little time looking at Jesus and his life. Today is the story of the centurion who comes to Jesus when Jesus enters into Capernaum. And he comes up to Jesus and he says, "Lord, my servant lies paralyzed and suffering." And Jesus asks him a question. He says, do you want me to go with you and heal him? And the centurion, this outsider, this Roman soldier, not a Jew, says, "Oh, no, I don't deserve to have you in my home. But you just say the word, and I believe that my servant will be healed." He says, I'm a man with authority. I've got soldiers under me. If I tell this soldier to go to a certain place, he's going to go. If I tell another one to come, he comes. If I tell my servant to do something, he does it. So I understand authority. And you just say the word, and I believe that my servant will be healed. And the scripture tells us something really kind of important. First, it says that when Jesus heard this, he was amazed. I can think of one other place in the scriptures that Jesus was amazed, and that was in Mark chapter 6 when Jesus is speaking and preaching in a synagogue in Nazareth, and they took offense at him, and Jesus was amazed at their lack of faith. This might be the only time in the scripture, I think, that Jesus was amazed at someone's faith. And it was the Roman centurion. Jesus goes on to say this, truly I tell you, I've not found anyone in Israel with such a great faith. I say to you that many will come from the east and the west and will take their places at the feast with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the subjects of the kingdom will be thrown outside into darkness where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. And then he says to the centurion, "Go and let it be done just as you have believed it would." And the scripture tells us, Matthew tells us, his servant was healed at that moment. The thing that struck me that I would want to encourage you to pray about, that I'm going to be praying about in my life, is this. I think there's an awful lot of people who at times feel like an outsider. I don't know, when you look at your relationship with Jesus and you think about that and maybe sometimes compare it to what you think other people's relationships with Jesus is. Maybe you go, "Oh, they're the insiders, I'm the outsider." One of the things I want you to see with Jesus, it doesn't matter if you're the insider or the outsider. What matters is, do you believe? I would encourage you to spend some time today just praying for God to strengthen you in your faith. Do you believe? Can you even imagine having a faith like the centurion? A faith that amazes Jesus. Well, I hope you have a great time of prayer and a great day today, and I